Hello everyone, this is the LEGO Ideas Steamboat Willie set, and it is shockingly colorful on the inside. It's also a much larger set than I ever expected it to be originally. Like all LEGO Ideas sets, this is derived from a fan design, a fan submitted design that got a lot of votes on the LEGO Ideas website. The original design was something significantly smaller, something that would have been just a nice little desk model, something that you could have put anywhere as a little memorabilia piece or a little memory piece to celebrate the anniversary of the creation of Mickey Mouse and the first film that Mickey Mouse came out in that had synchronized sound that was called Steamboat Willie, and it revolved around a ship like this. The LEGO designer assigned to this project to make it into a real set tried different sizes, tried different scales, and eventually settled on this size in order to be able to put a minifig representation of Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse in the wheelhouse to actually fit right down in there and to be able to put the roof over that. So that is why this ended up being so large, and check that out. Oh, check that out too. So as you move this back and forth, thanks to a very efficient gearing system, little mechanism that you build up early on in the build of this, you get the paddle wheels actually spinning around, and just like in the cartoon, you get the two smokestacks alternating up and down, which is a really nice surprise. It really goes above and beyond what was necessary to turn this into a proper set. It does require a little bit of care as you put this together to make sure that there isn't too much friction in there in all of the mechanisms that involve sliding and moving the cams up and down. As I turn this upside down, you can see some of the color that's built into the main chassis underneath there. You can see some of the gears and the cam system with the lime green color that you can see back inside of there. It works pretty nicely, and it just feels pretty right. A lot of studs on the side construction is used here. I like the bow and stern pieces, which are actually large windscreen pieces molded in black. Gives a nice shape there. Everything feels fairly consistent around. It's not the roundest of shaping, but it's pretty good, and it allows the design to have rounding and sloping on multiple axes in a fairly small space. You also get the little rudder back here, but you can't turn that. It's just on a hinge just to get it into place. For deck details, you have the bucket down there. They actually reveal that the original worthy one was Mickey Mouse. He has Mjolnir there. The potato bin is from part of the end of the cartoon, and here it's being used as just a box that you can transport around with this crane. In the cartoon, it's presented a little bit differently. It's just a little area down below deck, but obviously you can rotate this around. You can use it to pick that up. You can pick up the other things that are on the deck over here. This has the longest, I believe, of strings that LEGO makes, so you spend quite some time winding that up. And if you want to have this on a very high shelf, you can reach down all the way to the ground. You got a couple of pots and a pot and pan back there. This appears to be a door that could be opened by pushing that in, but there's stuff behind there, so that's just really there for the sake of texture. The lower deck windows are closed up or blocked off so that you don't see the mechanisms inside, which I think is perfectly fine. Again, here at the front, another suggestion of a door or entryway. And the bird here is a recolor of a Friends mold that has been in circulation for a while. Just trying to do something that's, that kind of has some extra personality to it. It's not quite what was in the actual cartoon, but I think it's a lot better than using, for instance, the LEGO Standard System Parrot piece. And beyond that, we've got a couple of printed pieces used on the sides here. So that's directly from the cartoon. It's the nameplate, and that's done actually in silver. 1928 is the year of publication of the original cartoon itself. Got the 3 steam whistles or horns. Yeah, I guess they're whistles up on the top that do a little skit early on. And inside the wheelhouse itself, there's not a lot of space, but you can spin the wheel around. It's just free spinning, and you have a couple of life preserver rings in there, and also a bell off to the side. I think that's supposed to be a bell and not a lamp. And that's pretty much it for the build. It looks pretty nice. I kind of liked the original size. This seems like something that just has so much bulk to it that it becomes a little bit more difficult to display for folks who just want to have a little something off to the side to accent a minifigure or two. But it is very, very well built, very well designed, and I love that feature right there, all that integration. Like I said, it's completely unnecessary, but it adds a lot to the character of the entire set. The Mickey Mouse minifigure is black and white inspired, but actually has quite a bit of silver in his color scheme, with the bright metallic silver actually painted on to make it extra bright and special. That makes it exclusive. You can also see some of that on his hat, which is a removable piece, just a small accessory with a mini peg hole on the base of it. They made this exclusive by using the silver colors in there, or the silver applications of paint, over the metallic silver underneath in some places, as you can see around the dual molded legs from the back. The second Disney minifigure collectible series actually has a version of this that looks very similar, but it uses gray instead of the silver. So if you get this set, you spend for the entire thing with the build, then you're getting a pair actually of minifigures that you won't be able to get anywhere else. The other figure is Minnie, and she comes with the acoustic guitar based in white, also with some bright metallic silver painting on it. And she has the sheet music, which is a printed 2x2 tile with the turkey and the straw, showing the actual proper musical notes from that original cartoon, and it shows the goat on it. It's unfortunate that they were not able to just reuse the existing goat mold. Lego has totally underused their goats, the official Lego system minifig scaled goat. This would have been a great opportunity, but they didn't bring one in for this set, so they put the goat on the sheet music instead of having the goat being able to eat the sheet music. I have a little bit of printing error or paint application error with this mini around the nose. There's a little bit of bleeding of the black around there. There's also some around the top that you're not seeing right now. For bright metallic silver applications, he has some for her shoes and also for the skirt piece. That's actually a light gray skirt piece that she has on, and it's just printed and painted over the top. There's also some printing on the front of the legs there. There's a better look at her from the front, and she also has a little bit of the metallic silver, bright metallic silver color up on the top of her hat there, which is a little bit out of focus, but there you can see that. And that's, again, another removable piece, and you can see how there's more of an issue with the paint applications there. It just didn't mask off all that well. Not everybody will have that problem, but you will see some production variations sometimes. Last thing in the set is this plaque, which has another of the 1928 prints on there. That's the exact same piece, 1x3 tile that's used on the boat, so they didn't make another one just for this. This is a nice little Mickey Mouse silhouette thing, and it stands up pretty nicely. Basically, they just had some extra production budget, kind of had the budget set for the entire set itself, and then went ahead and built it with all the pieces that it needed and had a little bit left over, a little bit of wiggle room. It's too bad that they didn't replace all this with just the goat. I think a lot of people would have preferred the goat to this, but this is a nice thing. See, this is a nice small size thing to use as an accent on a desk for a couple of figures, whereas the ship itself may be a little bit large for some people in like office settings, cubicles and things. You can also take that back kind of kickstand off and just use it this way. You can also put the figures a little bit forward. It's just another option for having a small display to focus on the figures. Amongst the spare or leftover pieces that you get with this set are a few nice little parts to get in black, and also one of the set exclusive pieces. You get an extra one of Minnie's hats. All told, it's a pretty nice set. I really respect the Lego designer who made this thing from scratch. You know, designed it completely new from the ground up and used a lot of really nice techniques. And that mechanism in there is really, really good stuff. My biggest, well, really my only problem with this set is its price. The price to part ratio, I think, is okay looking, considering that there are a fair number of fairly large pieces in there. And I think these cost a little bit more to produce also, all these stacked up cylinder style pieces in Technic. But when I look at the total volume of stuff, the total size of the set, it just doesn't look like it's worth $90 to me. A lot of people will very easily be able to just say, well, it's the Disney tax. But there have been plenty of Disney-themed or Disney sub-themed sets that have better value than this. And you see it all the time. It's very frequent, and it's pretty well established from data and from just looking at the reality of sets over time across different themes, that Lego spreads their licensing costs across multiple themes, across multiple sets. I just feel like they arbitrarily set this one to be more expensive than it ought to be. And being an idea set, there are less chances than normal that you'll be able to find this on discount. So that is a bit unfortunate, you know, that you're not able to get this set for what I consider to be a reasonable price. And the large size does require that it be much more expensive than the original idea's submission, the fan submission, would have been had it been just converted at that scale to an official Lego model. Even if it was completely redesigned, still, you got to pay for size. I just feel like you're paying too much for this size here. Also, of course, this is not for everybody. You know, not everybody's going to appreciate something that's in black and white. Just like you could easily say not everybody's going to appreciate Mickey Mouse in general. But for folks who do, if you can get over the price, I think you will be very delighted if you put this set together yourself. It's a very nice experience altogether, and once it's done, it's very good as well. If you want to see how this went together, I'm giving you two options this time around. If you want to see a speed build with music, you can check that out, and that experience is something like this. Or another option that I've just gotten set up to offer is a real-time build with no music and just the sounds of clicking. If you want to see either of those, I will put them up as little clickable panels on screen in just a few moments. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you check out one of the builds, I hope you enjoy those as well. Talk to you later.